Say thank you for coming out tonight, and at this time we'll call our regular meeting to order, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Dr. Gwatney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, board. Good evening to everybody who's in attendance here at the Fannin County Performing Arts Center, as well as those folks who are watching us on Rebel TV online. I'd like to wish you a good evening and welcome as well. Mr. Chair, our first item of business is the invocation, and for that I'm going to call Fannin County Deputy Sheriff and SRO Tracy Summers up to the podium, and he will lead us in the invocation. So if everybody would please rise.
Let's pray. Father God, as we stand here humbly before you, we want to thank you for your many blessings. We want to thank you for putting us in charge of your precious children. And Father, we just hope and pray that we can be godly influences in the lives of our young men and women. And Father, there's compromise all over our nation with our school boards and what's happening in some of our schools. And we just ask that you help us to be strong and fight the good fight and protect our children from the wiles of the world. We just ask that you continue to watch over us, continue to lead us and guide us, fill us with your Holy Spirit to protect your precious ones. For these things we ask in your holy and precious name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Deputy Summers. For the next item of business is the Pledge of Allegiance, and for that I'm going to call Fannin County Emergency Management Agency Director Robert Graham to the podium, and he will lead us in the pledge.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Graham. Board item number 4 on the agenda tonight is to approve the consent agenda. So it's comprised of 2 parts, and the first is to approve tonight's agenda, and the second part is to approve the minutes. We have 2 sets of minutes posted. The first is from, Mr. Inslee, go ahead and open those up. We have the call meeting on April 30th, 2021, which was held at 4 o'clock. Robert will scroll through those. Okay, and the next set of minutes that are posted are from the April 15th Board of Education meeting, 6 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Inslee. And so with that, it concludes the 2 sets of minutes. Mr. Chair, I recommend approval of the items on the consent agenda as presented.
Can the board have that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Next item is number 5 is special recognitions. So we'll go ahead and open up that agenda item, and we have several tonight because we got lots of good news, and I'm excited about this. But the first one that I want to talk to you about, number 1, is Fannin County Chamber of Commerce 2020 Community Service Award. The Community Service Award is determined based on nominations made by members of the Fannin County Chamber of Commerce. So all the entities and businesses that are a part of the Chamber of Commerce can make nominations to the executive committee, who makes a final selection. And I'm so proud to say that the Fannin County school system received the Fannin County Chamber of Commerce 2020 Community Service Award, and that was presented on April 21st. And ladies and gentlemen, this past year has been quite difficult, but the efforts of our teachers and faculty and staff, everybody who's a part of the school system, from students to parents, goes into this award right here. And it just shows that the efforts have not gone unnoticed. And the Fannin County Chamber of Commerce, this Board of Education, and I are proud of how everyone involved in this has risen to the challenge this school year. So I just want to say thank you to the Fannin County Schools for that. Next item up, number 2. Fannin County Emergency Management Agency Director Robert Graham. Mr. Graham, I'm going to ask you if you'll come up here to the to the stage with us. As I mentioned just a second ago, it has been an incredible year for us in terms of the complexity and the difficulty to make things happen. And it's required a great deal of partnerships with those in community and government that have supported our efforts to get people to school safely. And one of the chief members of that, even if this wasn't a pandemic year, every time we're looking at snowfall, every time we're looking at heavy rains that could result in flooding, if we're looking at issues on the road of any kind, if we're looking at matters of anything to do with public health or public safety, we're turning to this person right here. And Mr. Graham is a phenomenal resource, not only for Fannin County, but for this school district. And for that, we're calling him forward tonight, and we're going to recognize him for his service to the Fannin County school system. Let's give him a round of applause. And by coming to school, incredible opportunities for success have been provided to our students. And one of those that I'm very proud of, item number 3, I want to recognize the Lady Rebels basketball team. And to start that, I want to call Principal Debbie Decabellis up to the podium, and we'll turn the floor over to you, Ms. Decabellis, and you'll make some introductions. Good evening.
Good evening, Board. Thank you, Dr. Gwatney. Ask Coach Henson if he would join me as well. On behalf of Fannin County High School, we are honored to have the opportunity to recognize Coach Ryan Chastain and Coach Queen. We thank them both for all their hard work and dedication to our student athletes. We were so impressed with this year and what a year it has been for all of our Rebels. Coach Chastain, Coach Queen, thank you so much for all you did. And at this time, Coach Chastain is going to come up and say a few words and introduce his team.
Thank you.
Good evening. First of all, on behalf of the entire Lady Rebels basketball program, I would like to say thank you to the Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Gwatney, and all of our district leadership team for inviting us to be here tonight. We are honored that you felt it was appropriate to recognize us at this month's board meeting. Thank you. We'd also like to thank the Fannin County High School administrators, Ms. Decabellis, Dr. Ramsey, Ms. Collis, and Mr. Henson for their leadership and their unwavering support. I know this school year has not been without challenges, and there are a few specific things that we would like to say thank you for. To our district administration and to our Board of Education, we know that deciding to return to school in the middle of a pandemic was a very difficult decision, but because you had the courage to make that decision, we were able to have one of the most memorable seasons in Fannin County High School history. The games were epic, the moments were legendary, and our community support was unforgettable, and for that we say thank you. To our high school administration, we know that just running the day-to-day operations of a high school is a difficult task, and we know that this past school year took those difficulties to a whole new level. But because you were willing to take on these challenges, we were able to do the thing that we love the most. We were able to come together as a team and as a family for another season. We were able to compete and play basketball at the highest level, and the name that is still associated with basketball excellence all over the state of Georgia was once again announced in the Macon Coliseum, the Fannin County Lady Rebels. And for that, to our administration, we say thank you. I'd like to personally thank some other very important people. First of all, my assistant, Megan Queen, who's here tonight. She does an unbelievable job. She knows how grateful I am for what she does, but I want to say thank you to her, to Coach Hallmark, who is doing volleyball middle school tryouts. Bless his heart. We want to thank him as well. To my wife, Dr. Amanda Newton Chastain. To all our parents of our players who have worked incredibly hard in our booster club, organizing events, and have always been there every step of the way. Thank you. To our community who has shown us amazing support throughout the year. It's no secret how great this group of players has been. They are recognized by our community's young kids all over. They are asked for autographs at the Park and Rec, and little girls want their pictures made with them at the Circle J. One rec team even asked if our varsity players would autograph all their jerseys for their banquet at the end of the year. In a year of uncertainty, they have been an inspiration to so many, and I don't think they even realize the impact that they have had on the next generation of young Lady Rebels basketball players who want to be just like them. And finally, I want to thank the 13 young ladies who are here to be honored tonight. This group will forever hold a special place in my heart. I remember the second summer coaching basketball here. We were coming off a 7-win season, but I knew we had a group that was about to do great things, and I remember this conversation like it was yesterday. Many of these upperclassmen sat on the baseline of the gym after a July basketball workout. This is a time of year when most basketball players around the area and around the state were done for the summer or gone on vacation. They looked up at a row of Lady Rebels basketball banners hanging in the rafters and said, "Coach, we want to hang a banner up there with our year on it. And we want to have our team picture hung up in the new gym." I told them that day that you have to work hard when nobody else is willing to work hard. You have to commit to playing as a team, and this has to be like a family. You see, that's what makes this program special. It's not just a group of kids playing basketball, it's a legacy in our community. And wearing that uniform is a badge of honor. These are just some of the accomplishments achieved by this group this season. We hosted the first ever Sweet 16 basketball game in our gym here at Fannin County. We hosted the first ever Final Four game at our gym here in Fannin County. It was the first time the Final Four had not been played in the Macon Coliseum. We won 23 regular season games in a year where we were unsure if we would get to play at all. We were undefeated at home. We were undefeated in region play. We were the 7AA region tournament champions and the AA state runner-up for the GHSA. At this time, I'd like to present to you the 2021 7AA region champion and AA state runner-up Lady Rebel basketball team. First, senior Priscilla Bautista. Senior Paige Forsman. Senior Mackenzie Johnson. Senior Abby Ledford. Senior Olivia Sisson. Senior Natalie Thomas. Junior Becca Ledford. Junior Reagan York. Junior Jenna Young. Sophomore Reagan O'Neill. Sophomore Ava Queen. Sophomore Riley Reeves. And freshman Courtney Davis.
Coach, thank you so much. Those just incredible words that you've shared with us, and we greatly appreciate you coming here. I'm going to ask the coaches if you'll come join us on the stage, and the board and the players, and we're going to take a photograph. So we'll invite the media up, and Ms. Walker, and then also parents, if you want to come up and take a photograph, you're invited as well.
Yeah, we need to get some folks maybe in the back row, and yeah. Okay, now everybody's got to get where they can see me. Let's see, you want to look this way? See, these girls know how to do it. They've done it before. There you go. Darren's been doing this a long time too. So everybody smiles real big. Here we go, 1, 2, and you'll be able to see in about an hour. You'll be fine.
Let's give those coaches and Lady Rebels another hand. We thank you so much for being a part of our program tonight. Okay, our next item that we have special recognition for is the Fannin County School Nutrition Program, the 2020 Vision for School Nutrition. And I've got Ms. Sisson down here at the podium. Can you tell us a little bit about this award?
I will. It's not quite as exciting as the Lady Rebels, but Fannin County School Nutrition Program is excited about receiving the 2020 Vision sign from the state for meeting and excelling in meeting the 2020 Vision program. Leaders in agriculture, education, professional health, or public health have joined together back in 2015, and their goal was that 20% of every school meal served in Georgia would be Georgia-grown products. And so we met that goal, and most of the time we exceeded that goal with more than 20% of our plate being Georgia-grown products. And we have been recognized by the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Education with our 2020 Vision sign. And I do want to say that in school year 2019-2020, over $59 million were spent on Georgia-grown foods served in school meals across the state of Georgia. And I think that's pretty awesome how school nutrition works with the Georgia farmers to serve healthy meals for our students. So we have this wonderful sign for the program.
Great. Come on up here with that, Ms. Sisson. Let's get a photograph of that board.
Lewis was just going to keep on going that way. I didn't know where he was headed. Here we go. I see it. Okay, just a second. Good deal.
Agriculture is certainly the powerhouse of Georgia's economy, and the efforts of our nutrition program to make it all fit together with our schools, that's greatly appreciated. So thank you so much. So let's give Ms. Sisson and her program a round of applause. Thank you so much. Our final special recognition is, I'd like to introduce to you the 2021-2022 school year Fannin County High School Principal, Dr. Scott Ramsey. Good evening, Dr. Ramsey.
Good evening, Dr. Gwatney, members of the board. Very appreciative of the opportunity to speak to you and very thankful of the opportunity to be the principal at Fannin County High School. It's a great place. It's got a top-notch faculty and staff. The student body amazes me every day. These young ladies, that's what it's all about. That's why we do this. And I was in Macon at that game. I was on the floor, and it was like a Fannin County home game. The support that they had from the community, it was just overwhelming. Myself and Coach Henson were there, and Miss Bellis and Miss Collis were back here, and we kept texting back and forth. And I said, y'all couldn't have many people there because they're all here. And that's one of the neat things about Fannin County and living in Fannin County. I'm so excited about the direction of our school. I'm so excited about the direction of STEM and CTAE, the opportunities that that's providing. On this stage 2 nights ago, over $500,000 worth of scholarships were handed out. A lot of those funded locally, and that speaks to the generosity of this community and how this community takes care of our students. And a great deal of those were handed out to students who are pursuing something in CTAE. There was a young man who received a $10,000 scholarship because of welding. First 2 years of high school, he and I spent a lot of time together, and at that time it wasn't really a good thing to get to spend time with me. And he really turned it around with welding, and was, as a result of that, was able to win a $10,000 scholarship. So that's something. Our kids have talent, and we've got to continue to find ways to let them enhance that talent. My initial degree coming out of college was in industrial engineering technology, so I know how vital it is to kids, and I know how many opportunities that it provides kids, and as I said before, that's what we're about. We make decisions, and I promise you every day I'll make decisions based on what's in the best interest of our kids. If that's not what we're doing, then we're in the wrong business. So I'm so thankful for that opportunity to be able to pursue this, to be able to continue to promote CTAE and all the many good things that are going on at our school. Dr. Gwatney said it, several people have said it tonight. Because we were in school this year, our kids have gotten to do a lot of things that they might have missed out on if we hadn't had that opportunity. And I'm very appreciative of that. When you watch the news, you see, we got to get back in school, we got to get back in school. We've been in school. And because we've been in school, our high school has flourished, and our kids have gotten opportunities that they wouldn't have gotten if we had been online. So, huge appreciation for that. I know, like they said, that's a tough decision. And there's been a lot of tough decisions made this year, and I'm very thankful that we had the foresight to continue moving forward, because kids need to be in school for many different reasons. Kids need to be in school, so I'm very thankful they were able to. I look forward to working with all y'all. I look forward to working with the community. To get our story out there, to get our kids out there, and always do what's in the best interest of kids from K-12 all the way up. A lot of great things going on in this system, and I'm excited to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramsey. Okay, item number 6, Mr. Chair, is the school governance team update, and we're going to have Deputy Superintendent Sarah Rigdon review some information with us. Good evening, Ms. Rigdon.
Good evening, Dr. Gwatney and board. The school governance teams have been busy meeting across the county over the last month, and so I wanted to share with you some of the great things that they're doing. Of course, in front of you is the full report of the fundraiser requests, field trip requests, facility use requests that were also done this past month, and also the notable work of the SGTs. I won't take the time to read it all to you, but it's all up there for your review. One thing that we did in the last month that was super exciting is that we did hire or recommend a principal for Fannin County High School, which was the end of a very long year, making sure we had a strong decision for that. And so we are excited to welcome Dr. Ramsey as the high school principal. Another thing that is going on currently with SGTs is we do have some elections and appointments going on for the SGT for next school year. Several schools had either parent elections or a faculty and staff election this past week, and so I look forward to sharing with you the results of those elections very soon. And most of the SGTs are winding down. 2 have completed their work this year. Blue Ridge and East Fannin have completed their work. The other 3 SGTs do have meetings scheduled next week. They do take off the month of June, and in July they meet again, the new SGT, to reorganize and get ready for the next school year. So a lot has gone on with SGTs this year, and obviously they're pretty excited to be getting a break soon because it's been quite the year. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Item number 7 is school happenings, and we're going to ask West Fannin Elementary School Principal Allison Danner to come up and share an update with the board. Hello, Ms. Danner.
Good evening.
Good. Thank you.
Well, it's definitely hard to follow all the excitement and anticipation that we've had from the high school staff today. But what an exciting year it's been, and just an honor to get to share the exciting things that's gone on in a year that has been unlike any other. And if you can see the title of my presentation, well, I didn't know if it was you or me, or good. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity, and I think that we have embraced those opportunities that we've seen, the opportunity to think outside the box, and to embrace every moment that we can to provide those students the most normal school year that we could in the midst of a pandemic. But you know, I think in honor of that, we need to really truly appreciate our teachers and our staff. As you all well know, at no point did they falter on any of the challenges that they faced. They came in diligently and made sure that they were making every effort to make our students feel comfortable. And for that, I am forever grateful for their dedication. With that being said, I'm also very appreciative for our school district and our district leaders, and importantly, our school board. Because without you guys having the dedication to the students of Fannin County, and without the willingness to face the challenges that you have encountered this school year, we would not have had the opportunities that we needed this school year. So thank you for that. First of all, I'd like to introduce some new members of the West Fannin family. We had Miss Ansley Ferguson that was added as a parapro. Miss Gina Jones, who came to us in January, I think, right after the first of the year. And wow, she came at a fun time, and she has embraced that and done a phenomenal job. She didn't really know what she was getting into for the spring semester of school, but she's handled it well. And then, of course, Ms. Leslie Dean as a special ed parapro. Things were pretty normal with our spelling bee. We did have some fear that we were going to have to do that virtually. We were able to do it face-to-face, and our 4th and 5th graders were able to participate in that, and we had Miss Abby Pickard that represented us at the county level. So we just want to acknowledge her. Our students, not only our faculty, took efforts in making this year a success. I have to say that I think due to the limited transitions and maybe the students being able to read in a little bit to the differences in the situation, maybe some of the stressors that the teachers were feeling, I have to give kudos to them because their behavior has been top-notch this year. It's been very minimal, and for that, I am too grateful. We did do a couple of things with our PBIS rewards to make sure that they got the recognitions that they deserved. We had a Flashlight Friday where they were able just to bring flashlights and read in their classrooms. They had ice pops, PJs, and popcorn day. They were able to bring stuffed animals, and then probably their most favorite of all was an auction where we have an auctioneer come in and they get to bid on random prizes, and they really, really enjoy that. Our cafeteria staff always go above and beyond to make sure that they're encouraging school breakfast and school lunches. This year, and to go right in correlation with what we've been hearing about all the celebrations, they decided to focus on a sports theme. And yes, those Lady Rebels and our boys basketball team did autograph some basketballs, and our students were very excited when they were awarded with these things for drawings after they had participated in school breakfast. So what a phenomenal way to encourage those students to eat. I think, one of the most exciting things that our kiddos enjoyed was the parade and the send-off for our Lady Rebels as they ventured on their way for the state playoffs. We had to do it a little different than normal, so we made sure that our students were socially distanced around the whole facility at West Fannin. And what a surprise when those students, we didn't know that the Lady Rebels were actually going to get off the bus and celebrate with us, but the kids were so surprised. And yes, those girls had a huge impact on ours because our little girls decided they were going to play basketball at that point. So Coach Chastain, he's gone. Coach Chastain, you'll probably have lots of little Lady Rebels coming up real soon, so it was good to see that excitement. Oh, sorry. Well, our kids enjoyed it. It was great. We also have our fourth grade students have been working virtually because we've been limited on number of people coming in with our Chamber of Commerce and Trouts Unlimited. They are researching how the trout population is affected by all the tourism in Fannin County. They're also researching the different types of trout, and then as you can see, they're trying to integrate their art. These students are so talented. They did a Japanese flair of art with painting like a ink rolling of a fish, and then they transferred it to paper. And then if you can see, this young gentleman just followed a YouTube tutorial and drew a rainbow trout, and man, it's amazing. So we're very proud of that. We did notice that our STEAM and STEM initiative was taking a little bit of a hit just because it was difficult for the students to be able to collaborate and not stay within their pods. So we started implementing STEAM Fridays so they could really have time to focus on that. As you can see in these pictures, they were measuring their apple trees at the apple orchard. Our first grade students were working on owl pellets, which they thought was just totally disgusting in the beginning. And then they really started enjoying investigating to see what they could find in those pellets. It was pretty interesting. And our kindergarten students investigating different types of bird feeders and what would be would draw the most attention from the birds. Birds do not like Fruit Loops. Fifth grade was able to do a virtual energy workshop with TVA and Tri-State EMC. They were talking about how to produce clean energy and also received pamphlets on energy conservation and how they can help with that at home. So just lots of thinking outside the box. Some former students from West Fannin and just some high school students from the Key Club had the idea of trying to make it fun for the students, so they decided and contacted us that they wanted to do an Easter egg hunt at each of the elementary schools. And we were fortunate enough that former West Fannin students that are now part of the Key Club were able to come out and work with Ms. Shofie, our parent liaison, to plan and organize a great Easter egg hunt for our students. It was amazing. The community involvement that we had with that, I think Mr. Price touched on this during his presentation as well, but the community support that we had from this, the parents and just the community in general, donating eggs and candy for those students, it was amazing, the outpouring, so we appreciate that. We have really been able to develop some cooperation with our FCHS program. We had the FFA. We typically go to the Ag Barn for Ag Day. Again, kudos to people for thinking outside the box. They brought this Ag Day to us, and our students, our third graders, were able to learn about how to care for farm animals and farm equipment and just enjoy the day. So we appreciate that. And then also our FFA students and some of our FFA board members came out and read to our students. Another thing that has really been thriving during our this school year in the pandemic, I think this is probably the biggest, most eye-opening opportunity for me. As you can see, this is all of our students from West Fannin alone that were recipients of either first, second, or third place awards in the district project achievement for 4-H. We had over 90 students that participated in this event and did presentations. And I can't help but think that it was due to the fact that this was held virtually this year, which was phenomenal. Our students would not have had some of our students would not have been able to participate in that event had it not been held virtually and on school campus due to lack of transportation. So I think that's one opportunity that we've seen out of difficult times. You can also see that we had 26 recipients or people that participated at the district level. So not only did they win in the county, they went on to compete at the district level with their presentations. 4-H again just continues to do phenomenal things with our second grade. Y'all are probably so sick of hearing about the loo by now, but it is such an enhancement in technology to our PE facility. So we are so grateful to have that. And again, just want to let you guys know how much I appreciate y'all approving that we were able to fund that. Thank you. The Charlie cart was something that we were able to purchase with SPLOST funds. West Fannin has asked for years for a mobile kitchen. Well, now we have one. This is a mobile kitchen that comes with a full convection oven. It has a water supply. It has all your cooking utensils and just allows the students to be able to experience a different aspect of what we could integrate as culinary arts and start working with the high school and the CTAE department on their, in their food department with that. But as you can see here, Ms. Patterson was working with those students on, they made actual butter. They took turns shaking and counting how many times they had to make butter, and then they measured out and used their math and science skills to cook pancakes. And then they got to enjoy it as well. So we're excited about that. But you know, there's nothing more important than listen to a group of students tell you exactly what they enjoyed about the school year. So we've compiled a little video that just shows about their favorite thing about their school year.
My favorite thing about school is because when we were working at the stream, we were seeing what our stream needed to be healthy and helping our environment.
My favorite thing about cool playing centers.
The thing that I've enjoyed most this school year is the books that we've read this year. They are just interesting and full of detail.
My favorite project was when we did the life-size turtle.
My favorite thing about this year is learning multiplication.
My favorite thing of being at school is being with Miss McDonald and playing with my friends.
My favorite thing about school is the bird feeders.
My favorite part about this school year is PE, exercising and playing the loo.
I like kindergarten because I like it going outside to play.
My favorite thing about school is recess because I can play with my friends.
My favorite thing this year was the auction because I got a bunch of Sour Patch Kids, and it was all because of my dojo points.
I like school, I love school because of my friends that are here, and also because I get to show my imagination and I get to write.
My favorite thing about school is being able to see new teachers and new friends and being able to meet them.
My favorite thing is learning.
This is the faces that we would have missed had you guys not had the courage to let us go back and be face-to-face this year. So I truly appreciate you allowing that. And today was a celebration in itself in that we got to have field day and parents were invited and they got to attend. So that was very exciting. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Ms. Danner, thank you so much. Our next item, number 8, is the district health update, and we're going to ask Director of Applied and Integrated Instruction, Lucas Roof. Mr. Roof, if you'll come up to the podium, and we've got our current data, both the graph and then also the community COVID-19 information.
Absolutely. As everybody has said, I always get up here after all the special recognitions and tonight the Lady Rebels, and then with Ms. Danner doing a great job, and Dr. Ramsey, and I always feel like, oh gosh, now we have to do this. But the thing about it is, like everybody said, without us paying attention to public health throughout this school year and really working and doing everything we can to manage it, we would not have been able to have the Lady Rebels, and we wouldn't have been able to have everything we've had. So just really appreciative also. So looking at the graph, and while we're looking at the graph, I also talked with Jason Jones at Fannin Regional Hospital and He gave me some statistics from Fannin Regional and Union General, and right now the hospitals are basically normal. And when I say normal, COVID is not having a major impact right now when it comes to the hospital and the hospital care, so that's good news. So as you see on the graph, I mean, we're still in a good spot, knock on wood, when it comes to that. And then looking at our district numbers, and of course these will be updated again tomorrow morning, like they are every Friday morning throughout this school year. So you can see that here's our numbers as they stand right now, and then again these will be updated tomorrow morning.
And didn't we receive an update from DPH?
We did.
You want to go ahead and share some information about that?
Are you talking about the update from when it comes to
vaccinations and quarantine? Yes.
The Pfizer vaccine is, from the DPH standpoint, safe to be used on 12 years and up, 12-year-olds and up. So, we're in a situation where, we can let people know that and go from there.
One of the advantages of the vaccinated individual is per DPH in that message was that they would be exempt from the quarantine if there was an exposure?
Correct. So if someone's vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and they don't have to deal with the contact tracing headaches and the quarantining and things of that nature.
And of course, there's recent CDC guidance in terms of masks. So we're really seeing, it feels like we're really pulling out of this, and thankful for that. And I just want to say, Mr. Roof, you've done a fantastic job leading that effort this year for the school system. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And we're going to keep you at the podium because you've got some updates. You're going to change hats.
Absolutely.
You wear a lot of hats around here.
Absolutely. Now I'm switching to CTAE director, and now I'm here again. All right. So, Mr. Inslee, yeah, here we go. So CTAE updates for FY22 for the next fiscal year. The middle school, and thankful for Mr. Young's leadership with this as well. We'll have the following connections at the middle school: engineering technology, computer science, healthcare, agriculture, and marketing. At the high school, coming up next year, we'll have everything that we've had in agriculture with the 5 pathways we offer there: carpentry, fine furniture, welding, audio, video, early childhood ed, teaching as a profession, general medicine, nursing, sports medicine, pharmacy, food and nutrition, engineering and technology, work-based learning, and we're going to embed entrepreneurship with help from University of North Georgia. They're going to partner with us on that, and then we look to have automotive and automotive technology tentatively in FY23 or FY24. We had an opportunity, based on number of students enrolling into certain classes, to be able to open up a position and look for someone that has automotive technology background and that expertise to be able to do this, and we're really excited about that opportunity coming up for our students. Here's a graph where we polled students on on interest, and you can see that that green there, that automotive technology, that's a very large percentage of students that show interest in this area, both male and female, which is really exciting. Of course, you also see criminal justice as an interest, and that's something that we'll look into in the future as well. One goal for next school year, as Ms. Danner mentioned, is to have some intentional connections between, or more intentional connections between elementary school and the STEM and STEAM programs there, and the CTAE at the middle school and high school. So we're really looking forward to those intentional connections next year. This year was a little tough with COVID, but next year that's a goal of ours, and I look forward to helping support that goal. Really quickly, we are opening the STEM programs of study at the high school next school year, and this just shows you the number of current 8th graders, incoming freshmen, that have signed up for these programs of study. This is 42% of the incoming class that is basically saying and showing that they want to take their educational experience to another level. And so we are thrilled about that percentage. Real quick, one piece of data. Always have to have some data. 4-year graduation rate for CTAE concentrators, 100%. 100%. I don't think you can do better than that, can you? Yeah. So what that means is, don't get this confused with the overall graduation rate. This means that kids that participate and complete 2 courses in the same pathway over a 4-year period of that data, 100% of those kids graduate high school in Fannin County. I mean, that's amazing. So that just shows you how important CTAE is to our overall goal of 100% graduation rate for all kids. Also on here, CTAE leadership realignment. We do have a position open, a CTAE supervisor. That is, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm going to move into more of a role, a district level role, still helping out with the vision of CTAE and still helping out with everything that I've been doing this year in terms of that vision, but there will be a supervisor job that will help out with a lot of the day-to-day processes with the CTAE teachers, because it's a lot of day-to-day processes there, and I'm really excited about this because we're going to have support there at all layers, at the school level, at the administration level, at the district level, and at the superintendency level. Basically just layers of support there, and at the Board of Education level, of course. And we're really excited about it. And I'm willing to help the school system any way I can and help the kids, and just look forward to other opportunities.
Thank you, Mr. Roof. We're excited about that 100%. That just speaks to the quality of the program, the teachers,
that video, Mr.
faculty, and
Inslee.
staff, and you have a video to showcase some of that, correct?
Correct, and this does not go against my time at the mic.
The video there, tell us a little bit about it.
This video is an appreciation video. We were asked to do a video for Pioneer RESA, and we chose CTAE, and we really felt like the CTAE initiatives this year helped keep kids at school and keep kids excited about school during COVID, and so this was a video that we put together for Pioneer RESA. Hello, leaders of Pioneer RESA. The past year has presented many challenges. Our Fannin County CTAE department rose above these challenges. Who better to explain how than our students?
Ms. Matthews and the FCHS Agricultural Education Program is important to me because they have helped me explore and expand my interest in agriculture.
Mr. Bois and the Work-Based Learning Program have provided me with the opportunity to work for the Fannin County School System.
Ms. Fellenbaum and the FFA have changed my life because they have guided and encouraged me to become successful.
The Fannin County High School Technology Student Association and their engineering department have helped me pursue my goals and be the first Fannin County High School student admitted to MIT.
Mr. Fires and the welding program has changed my life because it taught me the importance of brotherhood, hard work, honesty, and taking pride in what I do.
Ms. Adams in the food science pathway gave me the opportunity to get my ServSafe certification, which led to me getting a pay raise at my job in the restaurant industry.
Mr. Padgett, the game design pathway, and FBLA have given me the courage to take on challenging tasks and give me self-confidence.
Mr. Stewart and the carpentry pathway have given me the opportunity to challenge myself and teach me the hard skills I need for a career in construction.
Mr. King's Sports Medicine program is a great program that's impacted my life by giving me a job opportunity at a local physical therapy clinic.
Ms. Gibbs, the nursing program, and HOSA has helped me prepare for my future as a registered nurse.
Coach Cheatham and the TAP program have given me the opportunity to explore my dream of becoming an educator. I have enjoyed many hours in classrooms across the county and have had the opportunity to teach alongside some amazing educators.
The CTAE program has inspired many students to do what they enjoy and given them the opportunity to strive for excellence.
We would like to thank the Fannin County School System CTAE department for giving all of us this wonderful opportunity to let our true colors shine.
It's coming at us from 92.7 WXFC Rebel Radio.
That's right. So that was Lucas Barnstead helped put that together, and I want to thank him.
Hello, leaders of Pioneer RESA.
Oh, I don't want to hear that again. Oh, no. You'll have to do all my voice live, too. There's too many Mr. Roof voices going on there. All right. And then...
Well done, Mr. Roof. Does the board have any questions on anything thus far?
Comment. Through Fannin County colors shine. That's beautiful to see our students have that kind of confidence from the lower grades all the way up, especially those high school students. That's beautiful.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you.
I'm especially proud to see a program that you helped start result in a $10,000 scholarship for one of the students.
Absolutely.
Dr.
That-
Ramsey spoke of.
That was a ton of
That's
teamwork.
incredible.
And then here, this is no approval needed on this, Board of Education members, but we do like to make sure you're aware of the grants that we applied for in FY22 at the state level and the federal level. And so here are the state level grants: apprenticeship, ag extended day, ag extended year, young farmer extended day, extended year, and supervision. The extended year grant, turns out we did not qualify for that this year. We'll be able to apply for that next year. But these are just grants to help support CTAE at the state level. And then here are the federal grants that we applied for at the federal level. And again, these are just to support the teachers and the students and the county at the federal level. So no approval needed, just FYI.
Okay, take us to item 11, which is where the approval is needed.
And we have a comprehensive local needs assessment and a local application. So this is similar to like a district improvement plan, but it's for CTAE. And Mr. Inslee, if you click on that one really quickly, I just provided some summaries of these. Basically, it's a 2-year plan. You update it after 1 year as needed. So we kept a lot of the stuff the same. The main thing I wanted to point out in here, and you can go next slide. We already pointed out the 100% graduation rate for those CTAE kids. Also, we have 100% program placement. So that means 100% of our kids right now are either being placed in college, career, or the military. Right now, 100% right out of high school over the past 4 years. And that data is given to us by the state. And so just wanted to go through this. This is very similar to last year, and I know that you guys have also looked at a lot of this ahead of time. Moving through, Mr. Inslee, we can probably go to the next document that'll have there we go, the local application. So the local application, we have 2 goals. And goal 1 is, go back one more. There we go. Goal 1 is the Fannin County School System will provide Fannin County High School students with a welding pathway and entrepreneurship development opportunities over the next school year while assuring that all pathways continue to meet industry business needs. We tweaked that goal from last year because obviously we're going to continue to support all the pathways like it says, but we are going to have that entrepreneurship development embedded into all the pathways. So we did tweak that goal slightly from last year. Moving on to the page 9, that goal 2, we did have to tweak this goal a little bit because this has to do with non-traditional enrollment. So that means, again, female students signing up for engineering or construction, things of that nature, male students in healthcare, those are just examples. We had to tweak these percentages because our goal from last year, we already outflew those percentages. So we already had a goal to move to a percentage that was actually less than the 14.74 that we were able to get to this year. So now our goal between this year and next year is to move from 14.74%, which is given to us by the state, to a 17.74%. That 3% increase is kind of a reasonable goal. It's a smart goal, if you will. So those are our goals moving into next school year. And I don't even think we'll need the other one. That's the giant document. You don't want to look at that.
You have that in there as a reference.
We'll be here all night. Okay. But you had that ahead of time, obviously. So I just humbly ask for your approval of our Perkins 5 comprehensive local needs assessment and local application with those 2 SMART goals. And also, obviously, looking at the giant 66-page document that you looked at ahead of time.
Your revisions to this are outstanding. The data speaks for itself. The 100% for-year placement data, I give you the credit, and also Ms. Dubois, as well as all the faculty and staff up there working hard to help these kids. And then also the 100% graduation of pathway completers. That's just amazing. And what a blessing it is to have 2 increase your objectives because you've already met them on a 2-year plan, mid-cycle. So, great job. Mr. Chair, make a recommendation to approve this as presented.
Can the chair have that motion? You do have that motion.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Great job, Mr. Root. Item number 12 is public comment. Mr. Danner?
There's no one side.
Okay. Item number 13 is facilities update.
Good evening, Board. This goes back to spring break. Had some things happening while everybody was out. This was at Blue Ridge Elementary. Blue Ridge had some SPLOST money. They chose to put it on a greenhouse. And notice inside the greenhouse is the aquaponics. So this actually replaced the dome that was there. Blue Ridge chose to do that. Go ahead, Mr. Hensley. And so again, that was actually installed by a contractor. So it is up and functional at this point. Then maintenance will come in and actually do the thermostats, everything prior to weather turning. So that's coming. Also at Blue Ridge Elementary, wish list from last summer was to put a rubber flooring in our special needs classroom. So again, we had that completed over spring break as well. There was 2 classrooms there. So again, that was one room to the left, one to the right. This was in one of the classrooms as well. Between those 2 classrooms there this summer, we'll put a door in between so they can go back and forth into one of the classrooms. One's more of an instructional. This is a, I don't know what the proper term for that is there, but the cool down room, so to speak. So again, that was one of Blue Ridge's wish list. East Fannin Elementary, this is, again, started over spring break. This will be completed this summer. Some of the windows, the fire escape windows, have been replaced at one time, but again, are non-functional. So we've chosen to, every classroom, change one of those windows for a fire escape. These are hinged, opened left and right. So again, that's will be completed this summer. Blue Ridge and West Fannin actually getting quotes on it to get theirs started, if not this summer, start as soon as possible. West Fannin had a flooding issue. This is the playground issue. We've actually, the STEM lab down and the Mr. Ben's room down there, we've had a couple little floods in there, some mud coming in. It's coming off from the playground area. So again, this started over spring break. A local contractor did that for us, come in and knock that out very quickly for us. And so again, we're very appreciative of him. Several pictures of that, Robert. So if you've not been to West lately there, it gives us a good little facelift. The bus coming down from the bus pad there, also at West Fannin, that's the concession stand is just past that vehicle you see there. When the buses started coming this route, the road is not wide enough. So again, it was...
Get you to pause for just a minute. Mr. Motes, we're picking up some feedback down here. Is that Mike?
I think it is this month.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Danner?
Some of the flooding was due to the road not being wide enough, because that's the new bus route. So again, this summer, hopefully we'll get that widened. Mr. Foster had requested that, so again, we'll get that done this summer. Go ahead. Some of that mud was actually in the classrooms and hallways, so we've got that corrected as well. Pretty major ordeal. Go ahead. One of the wish list items from West was a gate. Go ahead, was a gate. So again, we got that installed. Actually been ordered for a while. Contractor again had a tough time in getting materials, so we got that also added to West. Again, that comes from their again, Mr. Young, and Anthony Walden, we've had an issue. This is now the right-hand side of the middle school, where we're having traffic come through there during a school day. So again, they requested that, so again, we got that installed for them there at the middle school. In the media center, the old circulation desk is there now. New circulation desk is now installed. Really, it doesn't look like a big ordeal, except the power come out of the floor underneath the old circulation desk. So you have to do a lot of rewiring and for the network and for power and also for the phone system there. So middle school, you're not getting the media center middle school. It looks very good.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Denner. Board, any questions on that part?
Question?
Yes, sir.
The windows you alluded to, is that common throughout our system, that they are emergency windows?
Some of them, yes. Some of them, yes. So again, that we're heading east was the worst. That's why we went ahead and put them on there. But Blue Ridge and also West has asked for those. So again, just don't go to the hardware store and buy them. It's a pretty big ordeal. So again, that is coming very soon. As soon as I get the contractor to get them here. Construction update. This was our first meeting there at the facility back in, actually that was about a month ago. That's the contractors there. That's going to be from Reliable Hydraulics. They're the ones that's going to be actually digging for the lifts there at the transportation facility. So again, we have a huge video there, and then just a lot of pictures here. Just go ahead and Mr. Lindsay scroll through. These pictures are about probably 3 weeks old. So if you're not been by the property there, it's going to house our transportation facility. It is truly amazing. And so again, it's still at the dirt phase. That's actually the pad where the transportation facility is going to go. Again, 6 bays. We currently have 4. And again, so I know the transportation department's been asking this for years. So again, we can't wait to get them in their new facility.
Okay. Any other on construction update? Okay, Mr. Danner, item number 15 is to approve a resolution to make final this year's school calendar.
Yes, sir. This is actually this year's calendar. We've actually missed 4 school days due to weather. When I was looking at this calendar, again, the first 2 days we missed because of the hurricane. When I sat there and thought about that, that seemed like a lifetime ago. That was actually this school year. And so again, that was back in October. And then we missed a day in December, missed a day in January. So again, by state law, we can waive those 4 days. So this is the resolution for the board to approve for missing those school days. That keeps us at 176 school days.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I make that recommendation to approve the resolution as presented.
Can the chair have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Item number 16 is to approve an amendment to the proposed school calendar for upcoming school year. So tell us how that came about and what happened, Mr. Danner.
Robert, go ahead and do that. Approve the one on the bottom right. Yeah. On February the 11th, the school board approved the 21-22 school calendar. Again, that calendar was voted on by the staff, Fannin County school staff. And then on April the 23rd of this year, Dr. Gwatney received an email from the middle school SGT because the current calendar that is in place now has Labor Day as a regular school day and a regular work day for 12-month employees. So the Fannin County Middle School asked, could we possibly get the calendar committee back together to come up with an option? So before we actually done that, we actually polled our Fannin County staff do you want the calendar committee to come back together to create a new calendar? So that vote was a majority vote that they wanted the calendar committee to reconvene. So the calendar committee did reconvene on April the 30th. On April the 30th, the calendar committee come up with one option, which moves or makes Labor Day a holiday, moves pre-planning earlier by 1 day, which means pre-planning will start July the 26th. The first school day will be July the 30th, which is a Friday. And then, so again, the calendar committee decided to send that new option along with the current calendar back out to vote to the faculty and staff. And the results of it, Mr. Renzi, at the bottom, there were 277 people responded, and 57% of them chose the calendar option to take Labor Day off, start school on July the 3rd. So I do recommend, because of the majority vote, that we amend the current calendar for this new option for the next school year.
Okay, Mr. Chair, make that recommendation as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Danner. Item number 17 is to approve school quarterly financial reports. And we'll bring Ms. Rigdon back up. Ms. Wynn is unable to be with us this evening. She's in a training, and so we'll have Ms. Rigdon come join us and go over school quarterlies with us. You can go ahead and proceed. Use your teacher voice.
I'll use my teacher voice. So, of course, every quarter we do come before you and ask your approval on the school quarterly reports. As you can see, Ms. Rensley is scrolling through. Each of the bookkeepers, principals, and also our finance director have signed off on each of these reports. And so tonight we bring them to you for your review and also for your approval per state law.
Okay, so we'll just scroll through the reports here. And you can see, as Ms. Rigdon says, they've been through the school level, and then these are presented to the district level and reviewed by Ms. Wynn and Ms. Holloway. And then we come all the way through, and we have all school accounts. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair, to approve as presented.
Can the chair have that motion? So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Our next item is to approve the district financial report, and Ms. Rigdon, I'll take that one. If you want to look, we're at 75% of the fiscal year complete on this report, and we have revenues. Local sources are at 97.86% versus 98.12% last year. Total revenues 89.16 versus 87.74% this time last year. On the expenditure side, total expenditures are in budget are at 66.13 versus 70.41% this time last year. Mr. Chair, this is a healthy financial report. I recommend to approve.
Can the chair have that motion?
So moved.
Have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Our next item on the agenda is the SPLOST update, and I will share with you that this collection is a lot that's special about this particular collection. You'll notice it's the collection that was received for March of 2021. It was received in April. That is another record for SPLOST in Fannin County. It's also the highest amount thus far collected on SPLOST. And that also officially ends the collection on SPLOST 4. Okay, and remember that cutoff date was set by the Georgia Department of Revenue, came in and gave us the prescribed cutoff date for this SPLOST. So the SPLOST collections that occurred in April that we will receive this month and report on next month are actually the first collections for SPLOST 5. Because we've already passed the SPLOST 5 referendum, it's a seamless transition from SPLOST 4 to SPLOST 5. I'd like to point out that the projects that Mr. Danner had shared with us, for example, out on the Toccoa property and also the other improvements under SPLOST funds, those are occurring because they were on the SPLOST 4 referendum. The SPLOST 4 funds are already in the bank and are paying as we go debt-free to complete those projects utilizing SPLOST 4 funds. So very proud of that fact. As well as going all the way back to the completion of the Agriculture Center again, completed debt-free as a part of SPLOST 4. So, any questions about the SPLOST report? And we're certainly thankful that the Fannin County economy continues to show signs of remaining strong. So thankful for
And
that.
we thank our local Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely.
For their value in it.
Small business is extremely powerful in the economic, the economic report and success here, and so we're thankful for that, and the Chamber does a great job with that. You are correct. Okay, let's talk about that timeline that needs approval, Ms. Rigdon, the next item on the agenda.
Okay, absolutely. Board, this is the FY22 budget timeline, which was presented to you back on April 30th by Ms. Wynn. It is unchanged since it was presented to you back late last month. You'll see what our timeline is, beginning with tonight, and then moving all the way through June, on June 2nd, June 10th, June 30th, July 8th, 2 meetings on that date, and also on July 14th, a Wednesday, where we'll be advertising our budget. Of course, all of these timelines are in place so that we can make sure that we're compliant with the law and the expectation of being transparent with the people who live and vote and are part of the Fannin County schools. So in August, we will have a called meeting where we will be meeting to approve the FY22 budget. And so this is the timeline as it stands at this point.
Okay, thank you. And you'll notice the variation of the date range there at the bottom. We will wait for data from the county before we finalize that budget because we like our budget projections and it to be as real as possible. And we certainly appreciate, I know Ms. Doss is here and she assists us in communicating back and forth with county government and making that happen. So, Mr. Chair, I recommend this timeline as presented.
Can the chair have a motion to approve the budget timeline?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rigdon. I'll let Ms. Wynn know you did a great job on those items. Yeah, you're still up, so we'll bring you back up. And we've got policy revision. It's not unusual this time of year with updates to state law. We also have to then subsequently update policy, and this is one of those examples, Ms. Rigdon.
Okay, absolutely. This is a proposed policy to adopt GBIA, which is Teacher Evaluation Appeals. I'm bringing this for your consideration this evening, and it would, if approved, lay on the table for the next month. It is a requirement that we have a policy similar to this in place by July 1, and we do have to report our policy to the Georgia Department of Education. The policy that you see in front of you is actually a model policy that GSBA has presented to us and provided to us. It basically does put into place an appeals process for any employee, a teacher who has signed a fourth or subsequent contract for employment, and it does kind of give the timeline of how an appeal can be filed and to whom that appeal would be filed. And so, Mr. Inslee, do you have anything you would like to add to this policy?
This will be just that's coming into effect because of the law, and we will work with our principals to make sure that they understand the new law that goes into effect July 1.
Okay, so we're going to need to table this since it's a new policy. We will, or I will recommend that you approve to table this policy, and we will revisit this in June. Mr. Chair, make that recommendation.
Chair seeking a motion to table this policy.
Motion to table new board policy GBIA.
I'll second it. Do we have any more discussion? All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rigdon. All right. Update school nutrition meal prices for 21-22 school year. Good evening again.
Good evening again. Thank you. There will be no meal price increase from school year 2021 to school year 2022. So our meal prices will remain the same this year into next year. And USDA has released 9 waivers related to the school meal service program for next school year. And in general terms, these waivers allow districts to choose to participate in the National School Lunch Program or the Seamless Summer option. And they're valid through the end of, or through June 30th, 2022, or until the end of the national state of emergency. School districts will have 30 days to transition back to the National School Lunch Program at the end of the national state of emergency. And the Seamless Summer option is what allows the districts to offer meals to all children at no cost. And that's what we've been operating under this current school year. And Ms. Williams and I were in a director's briefing yesterday afternoon. We anticipate that those waivers will stay in place through the end of the next school year. So through June 2022 is what's anticipated.
Okay, so that's certainly good news, and just to make sure that I'm correct on this, because we've previously approved these prices currently and they do not change, we just carry them forward, no approval is needed tonight on this.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions from the board? All right, thank you so much, Mrs. All right, next item is local board training update, and we'll turn it over to Mr. Inslee.
Good evening, Board. We are in the process of getting our data compiled to send off to GSBA for our exemplary board status. And it's not due until September the 30th, but my plans are to get it in much earlier than that because you have met all your requirements for the training. Your 12 hours has already been completed, but based on our 2 retreats that we've had this year. So we'll get that submitted in and hopefully hear something, come when they have the conference at the end of the year.
All right, thank you, Mr. Inslee. Anything on the attachment? It's a review of the current plan that we...
This is just a review of the things that we've done this year.
And so no approval is needed at this point since we've already addressed that.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Inslee. Any questions for Mr. Inslee about training? Okay, our next item, number 24, Mr. Chairman, I recommend executive session for the purpose of personnel and then also real estate.
Okay, can the chair have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
You have a second. All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Mr. Danner will show us the way if you'll follow him through that door right over there, Board.
While in executive session, no action was taken, so at this time, I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, before we go on, we need to approve our minutes from the last time we was in executive session, and that was in January on the 14th. So at this time, I'd like to have a motion for us to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? All right. Turn the floor back over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next item on the agenda is item number 24, and it's personnel. So I'll give you a moment to find the personnel sheet dated May 13th, 2021. Everybody ready?
Nope. I'm hitting it, it ain't doing it.
Get it?
I'm hitting it, but it ain't doing nothing. Well. Okay, all right, I got you. Thank you.
All right, we're good?
We're good.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
All right. Resignations, I'll take collectively 3 that are effective on May 26, 2021. They are Hannah Davis, Marcy E. McDonald, and Murphy McConnell. Make that recommendation collectively, Mr. Chair.
Chair, have that motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you. A resignation effective date 6/18/2021. Sarah Stewart. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you. I have a recommendation effective for the 2021-2022 school year pending completion of paperwork and background check. Betsy Hyde, 49%, interim administrator. Mr. Chair, make that recommendation.
Can the chair have that motion?
You have it. Second.
All in favor? Whoever you want to choose.
All right, Mr. Chair, I have a recommendation for substitute custodian. This is again pending completion of paperwork and background check. Renee LaHue. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Chair, have that motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Recommendations effective for the 2021-2022 school year pending completion of paperwork and background check. We have the recommendation of teacher, Ben Barber. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Chair, have that motion.
So moved.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Okay, thank you. The next recommendation is for teacher, and I will make this to the vice chair. Mr. Vice Chair, Christy Coons is teacher.
Vice Chair will entertain a motion to approve Christy Coons as teacher.
Second.
I need a motion.
You have a motion, sir.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
I'll be abstaining on this one.
Good? Okay. I have the next 3 recommendations are for teacher, and we'll take these collectively. They are Adriana Reed, Christy Sanchez, and Lacey Walden. Make those recommendations together, Mr. Chair.
Can the chair have that motion?
So moved.
You have a second.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you. The next recommendation is for bookkeeper, Brittany Nations. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
I'll make that motion. Looking for a second.
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Okay, the next recommendation is for counselor. This is Stephanie Boyce Jolly. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Chair, have that motion.
So moved.
Need a second. Mike?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Next recommendation is for a school-based mental health provider, Sheena Reimer. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Can chair have that motion?
You have that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, and then Geneva Cook, paraprofessional. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Did you get everything? Did everybody vote on that? Yes. Okay, and that concludes personnel, Mr. Chair. And that takes us then to superintendent's comments. And I'd like to say, Board, last week was Teacher Appreciation. And as I said last week, it's my belief that no matter one's role in our district, we're all educators, and each of them who are a part of this team, they're essential in making a difference in the lives of students and the community, as evidenced by the Chamber Award and evidenced by all the presentations that you saw tonight. This has never meant more than it has during the past year. I want to give a special shout out to Tracy Summers for the invocation. Thank you, sir. And Robert Graham for the pledge. Mr. Moats, thank you for your work on audio and video. Ms. Danner, where are you? You did a great presentation tonight. Thank you so much. And where's Mr. Roof? Mr. Roof, great job. And I think he stayed within time, didn't he, Mr. Danner? He didn't? I see a head shaking. It's a great job, both of you, on that. The calendar committee, led by Mr. Danner, for their work on the calendars. I also want to thank Heather Finley because she's the one that was creating all those surveys for faculty and staff feedback, both on this year's calendar and next. And I want to thank the FCMS, the Fannin County Middle School SGT, because they shared relevant feedback that inspired the calendar revision that y'all approved tonight. I also want to thank the Fannin County High School SGT, led by the SGT chair there, Debbie DeCabellis, as well as Sarah Rigdon, for their work with the selection of the next Fannin County High School principal, Dr. Scott Ramsey. Where are you, Scott? So, congratulations, Dr. Ramsey. And there's some interim administrators that need to be recognized because they've really helped us out. And where's Debbie DeCabellis? Debbie, stand up, everybody. Everybody, let's give Debbie a round of applause. Debbie, as you know, is interim principal up here at the high school, and she has done a fantastic job. I also want to give a special shout out, and maybe she's watching. I don't think she's here with us in the PAC tonight, but when Debbie left West Fannin, and there were several calls, and you know, this just people that were really going to miss Debbie from West Fannin, and Millie Rice was the interim and has served us well as the interim out at West Fannin as assistant principal. So we're thankful for you, Millie. And another interim that I'm so pleased, and I know Scott is too, Betsy Hyde, who's returning to the high school where she taught, and she also began her leadership career at Fannin County High School. She will serve as the interim assistant principal to assist Dr. Ramsey as you get started. And you two have been co-principals with MEC for what, 6 years? 6 years, so there's a great working relationship there, and I'm looking forward to you guys starting the school year next year. I want to thank this board for your hard work and dedication to achieve exemplary board status with the Georgia School Boards Association. You've met the qualifications. So leading that process over here is Mr. Inslee, and you've done a great job with that, and I just want to say thank you for your work to make that happen. And there's somebody else. Mr. Inslee. Thank you, sir. This person, you might know who she is. If you look up here, Candy Sisson. And Candy started in August of, there we go, 1994, and you were at Union County before that. So August of 1994 with us. Come up here. Let's just come on up here. And this person, Candy is the epitome of a professional. She really is. And she was my neighbor when I was at the tech center. She was my next door neighbor in nutrition for a decade. She comes from a family of educators. Her dad was on the school board. Her dad signed my high school diploma. Her mom, I worked with her mom for years out at East Fannin, and my mom worked with her mom for years out at East Fannin and Morgan. And Candy is truly a quality individual. And the thing that I'm going to remember most about Candy, aside from everything that I just said, is that's back in 1994.
First year at Fannin High.
First year at Fannin. Was that your senior year or your freshman year?
First year teaching. With the big curly hair.
And then that's, here we go, wrapping up your career.
First year is school nutrition director.
And there's her wonderful parents, Jim and Faye. And that right there, that's a recent pic taken. And the one thing that I'm going to remember when you look at each of these pictures with Candy is her incredible smile and positive attitude, and just exudes warmth, and has done a fantastic job as nutrition director for Fannin County School System. And with that, this is her last regular meeting. And I just want to tell her, and I hope you'll join me in telling her, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Will be brief. I'm not quite as eloquent as Dr. Gwatney, and he's already said everything, I think. But I do appreciate working with you, Dr. Gwatney, and thank you for all I've learned from you. You're a great friend. I'm going to miss you. Board members and co-workers, we've shared a lot of fun times together, a lot of great memories. I am looking forward, and I'm excited about retirement, but it is a bit bittersweet because I will miss all of you every day. So thank you.
Turn it back over to you, Mr. Chair.
All right. Does anybody want to volunteer to go first? No. If not, I will. This time I'm going to shake it up a little bit, and we'll go back around this way. But I'll say, Miss Susan, I want to thank you for all the years of your service and stuff, and also on a personal note, for all the help that you give on down the road. I didn't realize it, but for my wife, how you was such a great inspiration to her and kept her in school and things. Thank you. Well, I can't thank you enough for what you did for her, so I think you understand what I'm saying. I want to say congratulations to Coach Chastain and them again. What a wonderful job. What a great role model for those girls. I've known Coach Chastain for a while, and when we were discussing a few things after he was telling me kind of how he was disappointed because he didn't win the state championship. And I told him that I was more proud of him for the role model that he is for our girls than the actual bringing home a trophy. I was proud of him for how far they went, but just the way that he, I don't know, controls himself and the way he presents himself in front of them, I appreciate him for that. Ms. Danner, great presentation. Mr. Roof, as always, a ton of information, and I enjoy it. I enjoy your enthusiasm, and I can't wait to see where we go with CTAE. It's going to be incredible. And I want to also thank Aaron and Mary Ann for stepping in and filling some big shoes tonight. Y'all doing great. And with that, I'll quit. Thank you for everybody that showed up, and it's a pleasure to be here.
I'll echo the congratulations to Coach Chastain and Lady Rebels. I actually had the honor of coaching Coach Chastain as a youth whenever he was playing basketball, and my son was playing basketball also, and what a joy it is to see his success. And I certainly agree, his character means so much. That coaching platform is significant, and it can have a great effect on the students and the young people they work with, and he is a shining example of a good coach. Ms. Sisson, you are going to be missed. I've been interacting with Candy since my children went through school, long before I served on the Board of Education. And she has always been pleasant and always positive. And I don't understand that. All of us have a bad day sooner or later. But never has Candy been anything but positive and pleasant to work with. So it's been a joy. And we certainly wish you well in your travels and future endeavors. Feedback is a gift. Positive or negative, it's a gift. But I received some very positive feedback, and I'll briefly share that with you over the past week. Had the opportunity to attend the middle school FFA banquet. And the Ag and Environmental Science Center was almost full on the show floor there with the tables properly spread. It was a wonderful event. The kids have done amazing things this year. And after the event, I was approached by a couple that I didn't know. And they came up and introduced themselves. They had 3 children in our school system. And they said, we just want you to know how pleased we are to be in Fannin County. Your school system is the reason we decided to move from Cobb County to Fannin County. And we're so thrilled that our students are here and they're participating at this level. I thought that was a great compliment. My wife and I stopped at a little restaurant over in Morganton last week, and we commented on a poster on the wall with all these pins in various places all around the world, and we asked about it, and she said, well, her husband was involved in international business, and they had traveled to all of those places and could have lived in any of those places. And she said the reason we chose Fannin County was because of the school system. I was taken aback, but we are truly making a difference in the lives of children. So many people are pleased that we were able to do the hard work, teachers, the administrators, the staff, to keep our kids in school. COVID was certainly a threat, but there are a lot of other threats, and we recognize that. Couldn't be prouder to be a part of this system. It's an honor indeed.
I'd like to take you back to the day that our board had a retreat and we got to go through all the school systems. One thing that y'all have brought out this evening, and every presentation that we've had has been focused on children, and the part I noticed and received in my mind was their confidence. They were happy, they're confident, they're willing to share. When we had a retreat, each school we went to, we had students that led us through and talked. And it's amazing to me that our students can be so open and honest and willing to step up and share. And just as Mr. Ruth touched on the 100% graduation rate, it seems like our kids are all happy. Fannin County really is a special place, and it's no wonderment to me that areas are pleased, other people are pleased when they come to our area and find out about it. We must be very special. If you've watched the news media, you could be so upset, so discouraged in life. It seems like our kids, they radiate happiness and security, and for my thinking, that's what we need for our kids to learn. So I'm thankful. I appreciate teachers. Everyone in our system seems to have kids first. So I just say thank y'all.
I guess it's my time. Anyhow, I am very, very proud of the Rebels and Mr. Bramlett, Mr. Galloway, and Mr. Lewis. Anyhow, and I know Mr. Cole's going to say this. We have got the best school, I know, in Georgia, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I work for the city of Blue Ridge, and I'm downtown a lot. And I talk to people who come here from other places, and they say, we just love Blue Ridge. We just love it. But anyhow, I'm so extremely proud of the Rebels in what they did. You know, we've got children here that can do things if only they have the opportunity to do that. And we need to provide them with that opportunity, and I think we do. Mrs., I'm thankful that our children got to eat things that was grown in Georgia besides somewhere else. Ms. Danner, good presentation. Mr. Roof, good presentation. I'm excited, and I know this man beside of me here is, about the possibility and I hope the accomplishment of an automotive class. something we need. Let me throw this in too. We need a small engine class. I've got a weed eater that ain't running. You know what I mean? I could probably fix it. Probably, I said. But anyhow, we need a small engine class sometime too. Mr. Inslee, thank you for all that you do for us as board members in our training. You do a great job, and thank you so much. I was also present at the FFA banquet. It was great seeing those young children speaking and talking and doing things that they needed to do. It's only through things like that that they get the opportunity to speak, become leaders in our community and stuff like that. Miss Sid, the only thing I got to tell you is thank you, thank you, thank you. But I'm going to tell you something. Retirement ain't what you think it's going to be. Or at least it wasn't for me anyhow. I hope it's better for you, but anyhow. I just thank everybody too who are here, and thank you for the privilege of sitting here. Mr. Cole?
That's awesome stuff. And I think we, like you said, I am very proud of this school. Like Mr. DeWeese said, going to the schools, I love the time we get to go. They had to wait on me a lot of the time because I'm checking on people and they're telling me to hurry up and come on. But I'm checking things out. And had the opportunity last Thursday in the vocational building. And it's kind of a theme that we heard from Coach Chastain, because we get to do this face-to-face. And I've heard that over and over while we were visiting schools. And the teachers were saying, Miss Brown, out at East Fannin, I'm so thankful that we get to do face-to-face. Because you've allowed us to do that, we get to fulfill what's inside of us. And I see that from the principals. And I don't know if y'all know that. I believe it was a week ago that was Principals Appreciation Day. And we got some great principals. Thank you, principals, every one of you. And because we get to go face to face, because, you know, the guys at the shop, when I leave sometimes, they say, you got to go do that school stuff. I said, no, I get to go do that school stuff. I get to. It's how you look at it. It's perspective. And I'm so excited. And I've been working on some things with Mr. Roof, trying to find scholarships, ways to help this CTAE program. And so in the midst of that, Miss Candy, I got to meet your dad again, who is a wonderful guy. Wonderful, wonderful guy. And during that time, they invited me to a program last Friday from the Tour of Homes, where 8 builders had gotten together, put together 5 $10,000 scholarships, and I got to see those kids who were so overwhelmed that they put a $10,000 check in their hand. Not a school, not somewhere else. They put it in their hand and let them do with it. And so that is because they did that, that stirred me to do more. So I'm trying to do that, whether it be on board with them or building a separate one myself. But we got some kids that are hungry. And if you hear that testimony over and over, it changed my life. It brought direction. We saw it up there. It's changed them, being able to have that opportunity to do that. That excites me. And so I'm thankful for the teachers that put themselves out there, do stuff they don't normally do in this situation we've been put in. I was thinking about that, and I'll wrap it up, but I was thinking when I was in the Marine Corps, and I was working on airplanes, and I love that, and we had this thing called mess duty. And they put me on mess duty, and I was in El Toro, California, and then they sent me papers and said, hey, our squadron's pulling out. We're going to Yuma, Arizona for 2 weeks. And I was like, woohoo, I'm out of this mess hall. They sent me to Yuma, Arizona, and you know where they put me? In the mess hall. And I thought I was getting out of it. But you know what? I signed up to work on airplanes, but you know what? That's part of my job, and I just did it. And I have watched these teachers over and over, because that's their love, do stuff in this pandemic because it's their job. They love their job. And I appreciate every one of you teachers. I hope you're listening. I hope you understand my heart. I thank you so much for what you're pouring in, because I see like Abby Picker, who up there Miss Danner put on spelling bee. She tromps through my house quite often. Her and my daughter are friends, and my daughter gets to go to her house, a fine young woman. And I see these kids, how they're always looking, trying to learn, trying to do something, and that excites me. And I just want to do all that I can to promote that. I hope I haven't rambled, but I love this system. I love my family, because this is my family, each and every one of you. And I wanted you to know that I'm a part. If I can do anything to help, I'm always here. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair.
Can I take us back just real quick to a year? Go back to March of 2020, when we had our last meeting down there before we came up here. And you think a year later, we brought postseason championship football team in here before you. And you think about last month, wrestling team. And you think about this month, it's fantastic, Lady Rebels. And you think about all those kids and all those super coaches. And you just, I don't think that, I've been coming to board meetings every month since 2007, and I've never seen us bring in 3 months, 3 postseason successes like that. And so I just want to give a special shout out to that extracurricular, too. Because not only does school continue, but extracurricular as well.
Volleyball, track, all of them.
Oh, yeah. And I know there'll be more. And so, and you see that the future is bright, y'all.
Can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes, sir.